Welcome back everybody to another episode of Sneaker Updates. This will be Sneaker Updates number 69. If you happen to be new here, feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just so you stay 100% updated on every hyped sneaker. Essentially in this series, we go over sneakers that receive updates throughout the week. For example, some of those may potentially include some Jordans, Yeezys, and more. But with that short little intro out of the way, why don't we jump right into the first update. Kicking it off for today, we'll be starting with Jordan since that's where the most important information lies today. Specifically, let's discuss the Jordan 1 Metallic Gold. As most of you know by now, the Jordan 1 Metallic Gold is set to drop on November 30th. Men's sizes will be $170 and grade school will be $130. All sizes of which are expected to be profitable with a great margin, full throttle on this one for sure. However, the reason I bring these up today is because we're actually going to be getting an early drop for these on sneakers through exclusive access. Sadly, no shock drop for these, but luckily Jordan 1 exclusive access is some of the highest stock exclusive access there normally is, such as what we saw on the Mocha Jordan 1 for example. Now, when exactly will this occur? Well, the exclusive access notifications should go out around 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight when you're watching this video. But if you don't get a notification, that doesn't exactly exclude you either. It is extremely often that people who don't get notifications still end up getting exclusive access on the next day. Hence, I always suggest checking when the access is live. When is the access live? The exclusive access itself, when it is actually purchasable, will be at 12 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow on November 20th. We'll be on the same link that they're currently loaded for on sneakers now, that of which I'll also be tweeting out on Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You. In general, I would highly suggest following both accounts just so you're always fully up to date when it comes to Sitelists, raffle lists, shock drops, restocks, etc. Regarding how exclusive access actually works, it's completely random as long as your account is relatively active. So the more active accounts you have at the moment, the higher your chances of copying would be. Sometimes it may show you have access on some devices, while some devices won't show, so again, I still highly suggest checking at 12 p.m. Eastern time just to be safe. But anyway, with those out of the way, moving on to some other updates. In spring of 2021, we will be seeing the Jordan 1 Bordeaux release for $170. Definitely expect these to be very profitable with a good margin when they do end up dropping, mock-up courtesy of Z sneakerheads. Moving on, we finally got some previews for the Jordan Spring and Winter 2021 drops. Kicking it off, we got to see the Jordan 4 University Blue. This pair will be dropping on March 6th for $225. Although I do expect demand to be very high for these, the retail being $225 rather than $190 certainly does take a toll on the potential margin. So I'm not expecting anything too notable for these, perhaps just about lunch money. We'll see as we approach the drop date though. Moving on, I know you guys are going to love this. We finally got a detailed look at the Jordan 1 University Blue. The drop for these actually really isn't too far away right now. They release on February 20th for $170. Expect them to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Now, even earlier than that, we have the Jordan 1 Silver Toe dropping on February 14th for $170. Similarly, definitely expect these to be very profitable with a great margin when they do end up releasing. And while still on the topic of Jordan 1s, even earlier than the ones we just discussed, the Jordan 1 Volt Gold will be releasing on January 9th for $170. I still expect these to be profitable with a decent margin, but not as great as the prior two I just mentioned. And of course, whatever changes, as well as how to cop guides for these and any hyped items coming up, I will keep you guys 100% updated, so make sure to subscribe and enable post notifications if you haven't yet. Then we also got to see the Jordan 5 Stealth dropping on March 27th for $190, primarily just a personal pair when it comes to these. A little earlier, on February 24th for $190, the Jordan 5 Anthracite will be dropping. Similar to the prior pair, personal only as of now for these, at best perhaps lunch money on larger sizes if you have no tax in your state, but really nothing too significant expected. Then we also got a detailed look at the Jordan 3 Cool Gray, which is set to drop for $190 on February 27th. Personal only for these as of now. Even sooner than that, on January 30th for $190, the Jordan 9 University Gold will be dropping. Personal only for these as well. The same goes for the Jordan 9 Cactus Flower, but there is no set release date when it comes to these. And also in January, specifically January 21st, for $190, we will be getting the Jordan 4 Starfish, mainly just a personal pair again for these. And finally, for Jordans, we also got a detailed look at the Jordan 13 Starfish, dropping January 2nd for $190, mainly just a personal pair for these again. Now with Jordans out of the way, let's move on to Yeezys. Kicking it off, we finally got an in-hand look at the Yeezy 350 V2 Bred. This is the recently produced pair, not the pair that was produced in 2017. Evidently, we see that there are no changes whatsoever, essentially an exact replica of the 2017 pair, which confirms that this is a re-release indeed. Some were considering the possibility of a similar looking colorway, since in 2019 these were supposed to re-release and they ended up not re-releasing. However, in this case, it is 100% confirmed now that we are getting this exact 2017 pair re-released with new produced units. Specifically, these will be releasing on December 5th for $220. Although the resale price will be much lower than it is now, I still expect them to be very profitable with a great margin, certainly one of the more demanded 350s. So I'm definitely very excited for this release. Let me know what you guys think though. Moving on, the Yeezy 380 Yekarite will be releasing mid-January for $230. I'm not expecting anything too great for these though, primarily just a personal pair based off of how recent 380s have been performing. And finally, for Yeezys, we got an in-hand look at the Yeezy 700 Sun. These drop in early 2021, but mainly just a personal for these, unfortunately. But now with Yeezys out of the way, moving on to some miscellaneous, we got detailed images of the upcoming Dunk Low Women's Laser Orange. These will be dropping in early 2021 for $100. Expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin. We also got our first look at the Saschs Mars Yard 2.5. These are expected to drop potentially as early as December next month this year. Based on the hype from the original pair, I would expect these to be very profitable, assuming the retail isn't as absurd as the overshoe retail. I'll have to keep you guys updated on this, of course. Then we got detailed images of the Dunk Low Vietnam, courtesy of Soles by JC. They are expected to drop potentially as early as January for $100. Expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin. Then we also got detailed images of the Dunk Low in gray, black, and red, which will be dropping in early 2021 for $100. Expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin as well. Then the same goes for the Dunk Low UNLV, which will be dropping in early 2021 as well. Expect them to be also very profitable with an incredible margin. Now, in some more recent news, we now have a new date for the Dunk High Varsity Maize. These were initially supposed to drop this month in November. However, they will now be releasing on December 9th for $120. Expect them to be very profitable with a great margin. And moving on from those, we got a new Dunk Low Disrupt. Normally, I wouldn't be too excited when it comes to Dunk Low Disrupts, considering how they were performing recently on the more recent pairs, but this pair in particular should do quite well. This is the Dunk Low Disrupt Tiffany colorway. Due to the hype on the normal Dunk Low Tiffany, I certainly think that some of that will transfer onto this pair. At the very least, I would expect some small profit with a decent margin for these, definitely at least better than all prior Disrupts. So these should be dropping in late December or early January, just another drop to look forward to. But anyway, that will conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you did enjoy or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Also subscribe and enable post notifications just so you're always 100% updated on all hyped releases. Also feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast residential proxies and pre-verified Nike and Adidas accounts. Last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You, just so you guys always stay 100% updated on all urgent info like this, what I was mentioning today, or future hyped restocks, drops, shock drops, etc. With that, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day.